Yo, what is up, Matt Galerius? If y'all guys do not know, I just reacted to the trailer for Supergirl. Trailer looks good, the music is good. I'm so excited for this movie for next year. 2026 will be so crazy. If not, it will be ass, which will be very, very disappointing. I don't want that to happen, but that'd be a no-no right. But anyway, since I just watched a trailer of it, I gotta go ahead and watch the Supergirl trailer breakdown by my guys with the new rock stars, new rock star. Not my guys. They're not my guys. I don't. They don't. I mean, I've watched them from like streaming like I'm Dante, but I don't really know them. Let's get to let's get to watching.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the trailer for DC Studios' Supergirl, starring Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin who crashed the party at the end of his movie. Directed by I, Tonya director Craig Gillespie and written by Anna Nogueira, Supergirl is the next film in James Gunn's DC Studios slate. And by the look and sound of it, the DCU is already going full Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's break down this trailer frame by frame for the details you missed.
I wasn't even thinking about that. What did it really go? Really? I mean, James Gunn did direct Guardians of the Galaxy, three of them, so I could see that. But he not really directed this movie. It's the other person, but he is producing this movie. Okay.
Fun Easter eggs pointing to how this movie will broaden the DCU cosmic landscape and whether that future will be following a tudum on Netflix or a cha-ching from some Saudi-backed tech bros.
I don't want to be on Netflix immediately. I don't want to like want to be. I want it to be in theaters. I don't want to be in Netflix immediately. Theaters hit different. I don't want to be on Netflix. I'm sorry. Netflix is a good streaming service, but come on, I don't want. Also, I just realized I'm going off topic now. Warner Brothers is with AEW, right? AEW is with Warner Brothers, right? If so, if Warner Brothers. Wait, it got sold. It got sold. Netflix got it. They got the Warner Brothers. And I think Paramount Plus or Paramount Plus doing something else. I don't know. But if AEW be on Netflix, WWE will also be on Netflix. So they're going to have like two rivalries of the companies, of the wrestling companies in the same streaming service. That'd be interesting. But I don't want Supergirl to be in Netflix immediately. Give it like give it like the same time amount like it did for other movies for like Disney Plus and HBO Max movies, but other than that, I don't want to be on Netflix like on the day it's supposed to be out. Yeah.
By the way, we're having some huge holiday sales at nerdriot.shop right now. Head on over to that site to check out this week's big deal and grab your favorite merch, like something from our Look Up collection. Buying a shirt from sometime after the best way to support the channel, just head to nerdriot.shop and pick one out for yourself. The trailer opens sometime after Kara left the Fortress of Solitude with Krypto, after the final minutes of Superman revealed that Kal-El was just dog-sitting Krypto the whole movie.
Thanks for watching him, bitch!
Now Krypto licks and knocks over a bottle of something that tips onto a needle of the suitcase record player, which starts playing Blondie's Call Me from 1980. The song plays diegetically within the scene, meaning it's playing from a sound source somewhere within the context of the scene, as opposed to scored on top of the scene in the edit, which is really how James Gunn would incorporate music in his Guardians of the Galaxy movies. We don't know if it's going to be Call Me in the final version of the scene, but it does suggest that Kara Zor-El is collecting music from Earth and, like her cousin, takes her punk rock music tastes quite seriously. This suitcase record player has alien writing on it. The DC universe does already have a fictional language called Sa-a-Krypton, both a spoken and a written form, developed by linguist team David J. Peterson and Jesse Peterson, who run a great Tumblr blog talking about the fun language building work that they've done on Superman and shows like House of the Dragon. Sa-and-Krypton is the language of Krypton, and it obviously played a big role in the Superman film. And to create it, the linguists scoured DC Comics for all Kryptonian names and terms, and they used those little bits of information to create the basis of the language. They also came up with a written cuneiform of the language and shared some fun examples of the symbols. I don't know if this alien writing is Sa-and-Krypton. It actually looks like a stylized cursive version of whatever it is. I would say much of Kara's Kryptonian's belongings would have been lost at this point, but her home city of Argo City did survive the main Kryptonian apocalypse. That again, Kryptonian consumer technology probably wouldn't use vinyl records quite like this. Also, there's going to be a lot of planets in the DC cosmos that this movie visits beyond Argo City. I'm bringing all this up because I just wouldn't be surprised if the Petersons also came up with other full languages for this movie. And with Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn was the guy who populated the MCU with various written languages and alien text. Supergirl looks like it's doing a similar thing for the DCU. For Krypton Krypto and Superman, James Gunn based the dog on his misbehaving rescue dog Ozu, and for the visual reference, they used a stand-in dog named Jolene, and then tasked the wizards at Framestore VFX to animate the rest. That seems to be the case with Krypto in this movie. Blondie's Call Me is just a great track to score this trailer. It was composed by Italian disco producer Giorgio Moroder as the theme for the 1980 film American Gigolo. They asked Debbie Harry of Blondie to compose the lyrics, which Debbie Harry wrote from the perspective of the main character of the film, a male escort played by Richard Gere. And she said while writing it, she pictured the opening scene of the film driving down the PCH. In the context of Supergirl, it's a different context that Kara is suggesting to call me anytime, a more exhausted offer to help someone in need as soon as this hangover clears. Krypto follows the leaking booze down the floor of this ship, it looks like. A pair of button-up jeans lay discarded on the floor, and the booze flows into some circuitry and sparks and breaks something. Krypto pees on a Daily Planet newspaper with the same layout and masthead of the newspaper as we saw it in Superman. The top headline reads, Superman saves town from nuclear explosion. A lower headline reads, Supergirl rescues cats. Her cousin Kal-El waves proudly in his photo, and in her photo, Kara just looks miserable holding an armful of cats. The urine hits specifically Superman's photo, showing what Krypto thinks of his dog sitter. A dog girl like Kara probably hated having to hold all those cats, but of course, saving the cats is the screenwriting maxim from Blake Snyder that he derived largely from Christopher Reeve's Superman saving a cat from a tree in that 1978 film. It's really a tip advised to make your hero likable. This coverage in the Daily Planet also reinforces the idea that Supergirl is a known metahuman on Earth. In Peacemaker Season 2, the ending of Season 1 was retconned to suggest that Supergirl did join Super Earth. In Peacemaker Season 2, the ending of Season 1 was
Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, I did not see Peacemaker. I got it. I have not seen Peacemaker show yet. Oh my God, I have not seen the Peacemaker show yet. Oh my God, I gotta watch this. I did not know Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Superman. Oh my God, I got it. Oh my God.
retconned to suggest that Supergirl did join Superman and the whole Justice Gang on certain missions before the events of the Superman film. You have to wonder if Clark had anything to do with the front page placement. I'd like to think that he was the one to fight for Supergirl's headline to at least be on the front page. It's still above the fold. Kara groggily wakes up.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy.
In a press Q&A that accompanied this trailer release, James Gunn and Craig Gillespie confirmed that a lot of this film will center on Kara toggling between planets with red suns versus planets with yellow suns. On planets with yellow suns, like Earth, she cannot get drunk, but she is powered up. But on planets with red suns, like what Krypton used to have with Rao before it went supernova, her physiology is normal, she has no powers, but she can get drunk. We know from the end of the Superman film that Kara was seeking out some red sun planets to get smashed. Craig Gillespie also said during the junket that the film is set entirely off Earth, but James Gunn quickly cut in to say, almost, which to me suggests that either we're gonna have an opening scene, or a cutaway, or maybe a post-credit scene that's gonna briefly show us what's happening on Earth. But otherwise, yeah, we can expect a Guardians of the Galaxy type story where most of the events are set away from Earth. We see Kara sitting at a bus stop wearing the jeans that I think we saw lying on the ground before as a grimy looking bus or a ferry or some kind of public transit.
Bro, DC and Marvel are back now. Thank God. I'm upset that James Gunn is with DC now. That he making some good Marvel movie like just regarding the Galaxy. Excuse me, but having him in a DC is just perfect. It's perfect. He resetted the DC, like basically a DCU face, like MCU face, and then Marvel's coming back. Like listen to the fans. Ever since Deadpool Wolverine did so well than the other movies, except like Guardian of the Galaxy 3, Spider-Man No Way Home, WandaVision, Shang-Chi, type all those type of movies, except like Thor Love Done, Ant-Man, Quantumania, and other shows. But anyway, I'm glad that like Marvel is like slowing things down. They're slowing things down. They're gonna stop putting out shows like that. I mean, they did put out some shows this year. Daredevil show was good. It was pretty good. Thunderbolts movie was good. Fantastic Four movie was good. I agree that Thunderbolts. I agree that Thunderbolts was the greatest movie ever after Endgame. I disagree. Top five, but not one of the greatest. That's other movies. Like, come on. But yeah, I I'm just excited for this movie, man.
clumsily lands next to her. The bus stop and the bus itself have more alien writing. The background here is a specific part of the Scottish Highlands where the hills are marked with white mineral deposits that look really cool and you could say extraterrestrial. Then in a bar that's set on a planet presumably with a red sun, Kara takes a flaming cocktail and says 23 will be the best year yet. So Kara will be 23 years old in this movie, and I'm not sure how much time that sets this movie after Superman, but in Superman we did learn that it was 3 decades before this when Kal-El as a baby left Krypton, so he's around 30 years old as of the events of Superman. This bar that Kara is in looks like the same bar from the very first set photo released from this film's production. This bar comes with a jukebox and a disco ball, which all seem to be things that this bar would have had to have gotten from Earth. I'm pretty sure this bar is based on the bar from Tom King's 2021 Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow graphic novel, this particular page. Even the flaming drink that Kara blows out in the scene seems to be based on Bilquis Evely's art showing the drink as smoking. That comic is the primary inspiration for Anna Aguirre's script for this movie, and it's really the tone they're going for. Supergirl's comic backstory is actually pretty limited. She was introduced in 1959 in Action Comics 252 and made limited appearances in the DC Comics before being adapted into the 1984 Supergirl film starring Helen Slater, and unfortunately this film was just considered a major flop. The character was killed off the next year in the 1985 Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover storyline that ended up retconning a lot of what made Superman fun, including Krypto, but Kara was brought back in 2004 and reintroduced in 2011 as part of the New 52 that actually bummed fans out a bit by redesigning her iconic cheerleader outfit. Then in 2016's DC Rebirth era, Supergirl was reintroduced again with her classic look and personality, consistent with the Supergirl TV series that was running on the time on CBS at first, then on the CW, the full series running 2015 to 2021, and ended up being part of the CW Arrowverse. So finally, with Tom King's 2021 as Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the character finally got a universally liked, tonally distinct storyline that ended up humanizing the character as someone very flawed. This 8-issue miniseries by writer Tom King and artist Bilquis Evely follows Kara Zor-El's quest in space with Krypto at her side, and it's told from the perspective of Ruthie Marie Knoll, an alien girl who's looking for justice for her father's death at the hands of Krem of the Yellow Hills. King said he took inspiration from True Grit for the whole Western tone here. In this movie, Eve Ridley plays Ruthie Marie Knoll, and actor Matthias Schoenaerts plays Krem. Sorry if I got his name wrong, I'll get it right in the future. Next, the trailer shows a critical moment from the past of Kara Zor-El's family, the departure of Argo City from Krypton's surface. The way Kara Zor-El was originally established as Superman's cousin was with the backstory of Argo City, a separate city on the planet of Krypton led by Zor-El, brother of Jor-El. Zor-El, along with his wife Allura Inze, recognized the global catastrophe that faced Krypton and created a protective dome around Argo City that allowed the city to survive the planet's destruction, and thereafter the domed city just started floating through space. We see that dome here beaming over the city as other skyscrapers on Krypton's surface start to disintegrate and collapse. So whereas in the comics it was like a good amount of time before the rest of the planet was destroyed, in this movie it's going to be a way closer call and like a rushed evacuation. It also means that this movie is going to show us the destruction of Krypton, just presumably not from the perspective of Jor-El and Lara Lor-Van with baby Kal-El, or who knows, maybe Bradley Cooper is going to show up on a voice call saying something racist about Earthlings in the language of Sa and Krypton. Or maybe we'll just see baby Kal-El's rocket shooting off toward Earth in the background of all this chaos. I mean, I guess if you squint among all this rubble and sunlight, you can start to make out shapes anywhere. In the junket with James Gunn, Craig Gillespie and Millie Alcock said that Kara was brought up on a world that was dying, which is a little interesting because traditionally Kara Zor-El was born after Krypton was destroyed, because Kal-El wasn't like 5 or 6 or 7 years old when he left the planet. So I'm not sure if that means they're going to fudge the timeline a bit to say that Kara was alive when Krypton was destroyed and was there the day Argo City left it, or maybe the implication of that quote is that Argo City is also expiring. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. When I was younger, it felt like switch cards or you can trust month of therapy. Now I'm noticing that Kryptonian architecture among all these skyscrapers seems distinctly Art Deco, referring to the multi-tiered ornamental spire-topped buildings that you see in urban areas that shot up vertically in the 1920s and 1930s, like New York City and Chicago, like think the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building, a reflection of the excess and decadence of the roaring 20s that bled into the 30s but really went out of style during the wartime restraint-minded 1940s, and then the horizontal sprawl of the suburban 50s. So on one hand, I'm fascinated to see Kryptonian architecture reflect any aspect of Earth's architecture, but I also think it's appropriate that the architecture is from an older bygone era that's marked by excess over pragmatism. Now, we don't know exactly what this movie is going to say caused Krypton's demise, but the buildings seem to be responding to some atmospheric condition like solar flares. So while in certain versions of the Superman origin story it was like a problem with Krypton's core, I'm thinking in James Gunn's DCU mythology it's going to be this solar system's sun, Rao, going supernova. The dome that protects Argo Argo City looks like it beams up from some central structure, and it looks like it doesn't get all of Argo City, just like the city center, leaving several very dense-looking city blocks outside of the dome. In this movie, David Krumholtz will play Kara's father, Zor-El, and Emily Beecham will play Allura Nze, her mother. And we'll see if all Kryptonians share the attitude toward Earthlings that Kal-El's parents did. So we do know that Kara grew up within Argo City with some sense of Kryptonian life, and I think part of James Gunn's casting of Millie Alcock was this actress's experience speaking in fictional languages created by the Peterson linguists, specifically High Valyrian and House of the Dragon. Like, don't be surprised if the flashbacks to Argo City are all spoken in Krypton with subtitles. Specifically, in the media junket, Craig Gillespie and Millie Alcock confirmed that on Alcock's first day on set, she was not in her Supergirl costume, and the whole scene was in the language of Kryptonian. And that might be this scene that we see here, shots of Kara in a funeral procession in white garb, similar to the garb worn by Jor-El and Lara Lorvan in Superman. So maybe one or both of her parents will have died during the years Argo City was a floating colony. We see Kara floating alone in space and screaming in agony. No sound because it's space. I'm assuming she's grieving one or both of her parents' death. Now, Ruthie asks Kara what it was like to lose everything that day, and Kara responds that since she was left behind, quote, the gods are not that kind. Gods, huh? The Kryptonians follow a religious belief system called Raoism, centered around their red sun of Rao. Action Comics 886 and 2010 detailed the Rao Orthodox pantheon that has 14 major deities, 211 demigods, and 1,402 titans. Jor-El and Lara Lorvan's message to Kal-El open with the phrase, we love you more than heaven, our son, we love you more than land. So there must be some Kryptonian idea, or idiom at least, related to the afterlife. Kara marches up to an industrial-looking city area, and we see Kara and Ruthie stand up from a pub table as they're surrounded by a group of militants or bounty hunters, human and non-human alike, with laser scopes on Kara and Ruthie of red, blue, and green. I love the color variety this contributes to the frame, but I also wonder if the colors are for different types of weapons from just different alien species, or if they refer to different settings, like red could be for kill, blue could be for stun, green could blast a restraint of some kind. Like, notice how the red lasers all seem to be trained on her vital organs, the green ones seem to be on her arms and back. The fact that she doesn't seem too worried makes me wonder whether this is a place with a yellow sun or a red sun. If it's a red sun, she should be worried. If it's a yellow sun, she obviously shouldn't be worried. But maybe it's a space station that orbits facing a binary star system. On one rotation, red sunlight. On another rotation, yellow sunlight. So she's just waiting them out until the light shifts from red to yellow, when she would now be powered up. Now, in the back of this group, a very tall boy focuses a green laser directly into the camera lens. Could be the same guy who we see in this other shot where a mace-type weapon drops into frame, kind of like Gogo Yubari's weapon in Kill Bill. And in a very cramped room, Kara tussles with this dude who kind of looks like the Mountain from Game of Thrones, while another armored figure holds Ruthie. Dressed in similar armor, walking out of a flaming room and leaning into camera is our boy Clem, with metal bolts covering his face and across the bridge of his nose. I'm assuming this point of view shot is from Ruthie on the day her parents were killed. Then there's a close-up of Ruthie on some kind of public transport. Hey, maybe it's that bus that Kara gets on at the beginning of the trailer, and maybe this could be how they meet. But here, Ruthie pulls out this sword, a weapon that she seems to have with her in a lot of the shots. Kara and Ruthie run down a hall, maybe outside of that small room where she tussled with the two armored guys before, and they smash through a window outside where soldiers with crossbows aim their weapons up at them. These dudes seem to be led by the guy in the horn helmet. Kara seems to struggle to fly with Ruthie. Now, we know from her cameo in Peacemaker that she is capable of flight, at least on planets with yellow suns, but this could also be another example of the shifting sunlight theory that I brought up before. Like, maybe at some point she'll fly, and then the light shifts from yellow to red, and then she no longer can fly. I just think part of the fun of this that Craig Gillespie is exploring is how chaotic her power set is, both in terms of how superpowered she is and how drunk she suddenly is in the middle of a battle. Like, it has to go back and forth, because what seems to be in the same location, Kara is using her heat vision here. Then we see a huge ship crashing into a mountainside, then a shot of Krypto sleeping, or maybe the poor pup is injured as Kara emotionally pets the doggy. The light behind her here looks noticeably red, so maybe they're both in a place where there's a red sun, meaning both of them would be depowered. Then after a shot of Kara dropping to her knees, we get the quickest shot of Jason Momoa as Lobo marching in toward camera. So Lobo is an alien mercenary and bounty hunter from the utopian planet of Zarnia. He's the last of his species, and he was actually introduced in Omega Men #3 from 1983.
So what's gonna happen with Aquaman now? Is it just Aquaman just gone like that? Is it just gone like that? Cause I don't know. Cause I did not watch Peacemaker, but I did see a clip where Peacemaker interact with Flash and Aquaman, where he said you should go ahead fucking fish, which was hilarious. That was Jason Momoa. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but let's see.
Back in March, James Gunn said that the morning he and Peter Safran were announced as the new heads of DC Studios back in October of 2022, Jason Momoa texted James Gunn saying, "Fucking Lobo!" And mind you, this is a year before Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom even came out. Momoa has said that Lobo is his favorite DC character, and that when he auditioned for 2016's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice to play Arthur Curry for the DCEU, he initially thought he was auditioning to play Lobo. Tom King said that he originally conceived of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow graphic novel as a Lobo Supergirl story, but then his editor suggested to remove Lobo and just make Supergirl the Rooster Cockburn character, from True Grit. So putting Lobo back into the movie is a nod to that scrapped idea. We know Lobo will also be riding his space hog at some point in this movie. Ruthie asks Kara,
"What's Superman like?"
And then we see Kara fly up out of the atmosphere of a planet that definitely has a yellow sun, and upon leaving the stratosphere releases this shockwave. Since the upper stratosphere of most planets don't have clouds like this that high, I actually wonder if this could be the barrier of Argo City, and it could lead to the shot of Kara screaming in agony in space. Maybe this is right after one or both of her parents died. And then Kara answers Ruthie's question about the difference between her and Superman, and we see her full iconic hero shot of Supergirl in her suit as she delivers this iconic line.
He sees the good in everyone, and I see the truth.
Now, we'll get to the line in a second, but I love how the composition of the shot recalls the much debated backlighting of Superman in last summer's film and his impassioned speech to Lex Luthor.
"I'm as human as anyone. I love, I get scared. I wake up every morning, and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other, and I try to..."
I'm not laughing at Superman. I'm thinking about the video that I saw on Instagram Reel where someone imitate Les Luthor, Superman, blocking his son, and he move out the way and let somebody and shows different all white guy like ah. That was hilarious. Like that's why I'm laughing at that. I'm not laughing. This is good. This is a good line what he's saying, but I'm just thinking about that Instagram video I saw.
"Make the best choices I can."
Of course, this whole idea of Superman choosing to see the good in everyone, even in Lex, came up in the other critical moment when Superman talked with Lois before turning himself in.
You trust everyone and think everyone you've ever met is, like, beautiful.
Maybe that's the real punk rock.
So the idea of Supergirl seeing the truth also reminds us of Wonder Woman's famous lasso of truth. Normally in DC stories, it's Diana who sees the truth in the liars of the universe. And even though truth, justice, and the American way is an idea associated with Superman, I like how both of the heroes of the first two DCU movies are driven by equally justified maxims. There's nothing wrong with seeing the good in everyone, but there's also definitely not anything wrong with seeing the truth in everyone. So with the idea of lasso on our minds is the final shot of this trailer as Kara appears to be on the deck of that giant crashed ship that we saw earlier, now using this pole with a metal cable attached to it with some hardware on the other end to sweep it all across this deck and take out all of her enemies. Similar to the first teaser for Superman a year ago, this teaser ends not with the movie title, but with just the chest emblem. It's the same as Superman's emblem, of course, but Supergirl's emblem has a brighter pastel double border that stretches around it. Following Supergirl this June, Clayface will be the next DC Studios film, coming September in 2026, and then in July.
Oh my God, you realize? Oh my God, I forgot about this, bro. Clayface movie is so random, but I'm so intrigued on seeing that. They gonna make it a super villain horror movie like DC. I'm so intrigued on this. I want to see how that gonna go.
2027 will be Man of Tomorrow, the Superman sequel where Superman and Lex are going to team up against Brainiac, who was the initial villain that James Gunn was considering for the first Superman film before he switched it up to Lex.
Bruh.
There actually have been some rumors that Matt Smith might be in talks to play Brainiac. Those have not been confirmed yet. But what do you think? Will Brainiac show up in this Supergirl film? Part of what Brainiac does is shrink planets and cities to store in his collection, and that could include the Kryptonian cities of Kandor and maybe also Argo City. Comment down below with your thoughts, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Jeremy Dunham, for supporting us at the executive producer level. Big thanks to Studio Tech Brian Kim, New Rockstar's editors.
Hey man, great video, W video, bro. I'm so excited for this movie. I forgot about Clayface. I still can't believe Clayface gonna be the movie, man. So excited about that. So excited. I'm so excited. I didn't realize, is it just a teaser trailer or just a trailer official? It's an official teaser trailer. So we don't got no trailer yet. I mean, like this is a trailer, but like not like a shout out to Dwayne Jazz, but not like trailer. I'm so excited. Um, Hopefully y'all guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna keep on reacting to more videos. I don't know what to react next, but I'll see y'all Hilarious in the next one. Deuces.